Namaste, my name is Gayatri and I'm going to be sharing some spiritual wisdom or some yoga wisdom with you today, and the topic is the mind. It's a very interesting topic and we're going to be exploring the mind from the Vedic perspective. But before we begin the wisdom talk, I'd like to practice a little bit of kirtan, which is going to help to purify our spiritual consciousness so we can gain spiritual insights into this information. So I'm going to sing a mantra through Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana, Mohana. I'll sing it through twice and then you respond, you sing it back to me, and then I sing and you respond, and just rest your hearts and minds in this beautiful transcendental sound. Just let it envelop you like a beautiful, safe, protective cocoon. If your mind wanders, just gently draw it back, place it on the sound. I speak, I would like to pay my respects and gratitude to my spiritual teacher, Jagaguru Siddhaswarupananda. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimate Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namane. So the mind, our last talk, the spiritual wisdom talk, we spoke about you're not the body. So if you want to go back and watch that one before you watch this one, it's probably recommended. Gives you a little bit more insight into the fact that we are not our bodies. We are the eternal living being situated or temporarily residing within the material body. So it's described in the Vedas that we are not our body and we are not our mind. We are the eternal spark of life, the eternal spiritual being, or the spirit soul, jiva, atma, many names for the soul, the spirit soul. We are the spiritual being covered by a material mind, and then over the top of that, we're covered by a gross material body. So the gross material body is considered the outer garments, made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. And the mind is still a material body, but made of more subtle elements. Elements that we can't see with our eyes. So making up mind, intelligence, and false ego. They are the elements making up the mind. So it's more a subtle body that we're covered by, and it's considered to be the undergarments. So we're actually covered by two bodies. And the mind is like a recording device. It records all our past thoughts and activities in this whole lifetime. So sometimes you'll be just going along your business and suddenly a thought will come up from maybe 20 or 30 years ago, depending how old you are, and will just come up out of the blue. And you go, whoa, where did that come from? I wasn't even trying to think about that. It just popped up. And that's because all these thoughts from decades ago are stored within the mind, and they'll just come up at different times. So it's likened, the mind is, likened to the software and the brain, the hardware. So the brain is, connected up to the body, and the mind is connected to the brain. And the mind is the software, brain is the hardware. But you see, need someone, a person who's going to do something with that software. So you need somebody who's going to be controlling that computer. And that is you, the living entity. You can actually control your mind and you control, the brain. So we are possessors of the mind. The mind is our possession. Just like, we say, my mind, I tried to change my mind, or I'm trying to focus my mind. Oh gosh, my mind's giving me trouble, grief today. My mind is very agitated. So you talk about the mind as if it's something that you possess, and that's true. It's actually your possession. And you can take it in whichever direction you want to take it. And a really good analogy is it's like a spider's web or a silkworm cocoon. So they're both environments that a living entity survives in, but one is to entrap and one is to keep secure. It's like a security blanket. So our mind can be like that. It can entrap us or it can be our security. So it just depends on how we utilize our mind. So I'd like to read a verse here from the ancient yoga text, the Bhagavad Gita. A man must elevate himself by his own mind, not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul, and his enemy as well. For he who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will be the greatest enemy. So our mind is moulded by our attitudes, by our activities that we engage in, by our environment that we live in. And this determines our state of consciousness. So we can actually spiritualize our mind, or our mind can degrade us and take us more down that material route, that route of materialism. So I'm going to now, we're going to practice a little bit of mindfulness, a silent witness meditation, and this will really help us to understand that we're not our mind, that we can actually detach from the mind, and we can observe the mind as the silent witness within. So I'll get you to close your eyes softly. Just relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your breath. Just feeling the breath as it enters and leaves the nostrils. I want you to step back from your mind, just as if you were sitting on the bank of a stream, watching the stream flow before your eyes. You're going to watch the stream of thoughts flowing through the mind. So we're simply observing. We're not trying to change our thought pattern in any way. We're not trying to still the mind or empty the mind. We're just letting the thoughts be there. And we're simply observing these thoughts. You'll see these thoughts at different times rise to the surface of the mind and then pass away again. Just like they're rising to the surface of the stream and flowing away. Thoughts are also emotions and desires. So simply observe the thoughts as they flow through the mind. Now you can also observe the condition of the mind, different conditions that the mind goes through. So sometimes when we're watching a stream, we can see that the stream is crystal clear. At other times it is murky. Sometimes the stream is moving very quickly and more agitated, and other times the stream is flowing more slowly and peacefully. So too, it can be likened to our minds. So just be aware of the condition of your mind at the present. Sometimes our minds, we've got a lot of clarity of mind. Sometimes our minds are very foggy and we can hardly think, let alone focus. At other times our minds are really agitated and fast moving, exhausting us. And maybe after you've practiced the meditation, you'll find that your mind is moving slower, it's more peaceful. So just continuing to observe the mind and the thoughts that are there within the mind. And you can even say to yourself, I make no effort to think, that thoughts come automatically. I am watching the thoughts flow through my mind, but I am aloof from them. I am the silent witness of my mind's activities. So you don't have to go with the stream of thoughts. You can detach yourself from them. You can become undisturbed by the different thoughts and feelings, emotions, as they flow through your mind. You can experience that you are the viewer of these thoughts. You are not the thoughts, feelings, or emotions. I want you to meditate upon these very profound words of wisdom. Aham Brahmasmi. I am spirit, not matter. I am not the body, I am not the mind. The body is temporary. I am eternal. I am the eternal spirit soul, the eternal spark of the Supreme Soul. I am detached from the worries, the disturbances of the body and the mind. Aham Brahmasmi. So if we practice this mindfulness meditation regularly, you'll experience more detachment, more freedom, more peace. You'll learn to observe the content of your mind as being distinct from your true self. This is a wonderful revelation. I remember when I first discovered that I wasn't the mind, it was like, hallelujah. Thank goodness for that. It's my possession, so I can actually take control of my mind. And rather than have it entrap me like the spider's web, I can have it like a safe cocoon. And that's how we want to be. We want to make our mind our best friend. And we can actually do that through meditation. Mantra meditation helps us to uncover the true self, so that you will actually achieve self-realization through mantra meditation. And you'll find that the more you practice meditation, the more you'll be able to control the mind, and your mind will take you in a different direction. It can take you to the spiritual realm, and it can keep you here in the material realm. So it depends on your choice where you want to go. So I always in my life, I always set myself a goal. What is my goal? What am I wanting to achieve in life? And then I set about heading in that direction. So we can choose if we want to head in that spiritual direction, or we can choose if we want to head in a material direction. It's completely up to us. We have the power of choice. So we're going to engage in a little bit more kirtan, just to finish off. If you do have any questions, you can please comment below, and I will endeavour to answer any questions you have. We're going to be doing a lot more of these little spiritual wisdom nuggets, and they're just little 10-minute, 15-minute wisdom talks, just to shed some insight on these little things in life that are going to help us. So the mantra I'm going to sing now is Om Hari Om. So I'll sing it through twice and then you respond, and I think you know what to do now. So just continue on. Hold that beautiful mantra within your mind. Keep this mantra with you at all times. You can come to it whenever you want. You can take it with you wherever you go. It's like that beautiful, safe, secure cocoon. Namaste.